Hey, it's Mike Giannoulis with onlyonemike.com, also copywriterbrain.com, and I want to show you in this video how you can write blog posts for SEO. And I'm going to actually show you a plugin that I use called Rank Math and how I make sure that every post that I write is optimized for SEO. I've been able to rank #1 for a keyword that really is important to me around copywriting, which has really helped me a ton. I get about 1,000 highly qualified visitors every day. And I'm just going to take you behind the curtain and show you how it all works. And this is going to be a very detailed video. It's very much a how-to. So if this is not for you, go on. But if it is something that you want to get better at, then let's dive in. I'm going to do a screen share and we'll get started. I'll see you on the inside. All right, through the magic of editing, here we are. So what happens for me is I have some third-party writers who write some of my content. I write like the big stuff, but I also have people that write for me for sort of more just content-based stuff that I know people are searching for. And so they come into me like this. So you can see this is one of my people that writes for me. And what I do is she actually writes in Google Docs, which at first was kind of a pain because I would spend like hours copy pasting, and all the images would not come over, and there was really no easy way to pull images, right? So I was always like struggling because I would actually have to like use Snagit and like take a screenshot of the image, convert it over. It was really a pain. And thankfully I found a plugin to help make this a whole lot easier. So this particular blog post is how to lose 2 pounds a week. And it is based on the idea that I did keyword research, and I saw that this is an exact phrase that is searched for. And I think that I could rank for that in maybe about 3 or 4 months if I focus on it. So I tasked her with the keyword. I gave her some sites to go check out, and I've reviewed it, and it's great. It's we'll see the exact length, but you can see she inserts images throughout the whole piece, and it's well researched, which is important to me. So this is the actual link up here. So I'm going to actually go ahead and hit share, and I'm going to grab the link from here. So I'll copy that. All right, so we're going to jump over to the blog. I just did some updates to plugins, and we're going to go over to posts, and we'll go to add new. So if you blog at all, you know this is WordPress and pretty simple, thing. So I'm not going to dive too deep into this. So I know the title that I'm going to want to say, but what I'll do, I'll come back to that. So I'm in the blocks. I actually had signed up for a paid version of Elementor, but to be honest, I prefer the free Gutenberg, I think it's called, blocks. I enjoy that more. So the plugin that I installed is actually called, so I just realized I had not yet installed this plugin on this blog. I run 3 different blogs. So this is, I'm going to do it right now. The name of the plugin, this is the one that imports your blog from either Google Docs or from Microsoft Word, which is very helpful. It is called, I believe, Seraphinite Post DocX Source. You can just go to plugins and search for the word Seraphinite with a PH instead of F, and just install it. And once you install, activate, and then we'll return back to the posts, and we'll see if I have one. Okay, so I'll go to add new, and what it'll do is underneath where you insert the blog post. So just so you kind of understand, it would take me forever to take this, and so how to lose 2 pounds a week. I would have to copy paste all this, paste it in, and that just takes forever. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to scroll down here, and you can see there it is. There's this little plugin add-on, and there is a premium version. So I don't know if this expires or not, but so far I've had it for a while, and it's been good. But you can do a local file or a Google document or a Google URL. So we're going to do that. When you do local file, you can upload. Oh, there's my Google phone jumping in on me. Thanks, Google. And so if we do Google document by URL, you can just paste it in there. And if you did local file, which is what I was going to say before my phone interrupted me, thanks a lot, phone, you can upload Word documents and files. So go ahead and hit load. And what this does, and I think you have to like stay on the screen, like don't move. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I try to just sit still because I think it might be doing some kind of on-page script. So what's going on right now is it's going and it's pulling everything in, and then boom, it's inserting it. All right, so you can see now that all of that content was brought in, which is pretty awesome, including images. Now, from an SEO standpoint, I want to bring up a few things that we have to do, and we're gonna go and we're gonna actually do those things now. But I want to bring your attention to one thing, which is up top here on the right. You see this little 16 out of 100. This is my SEO score from a plugin called Rank Math. Okay, so Rank Math is a pretty cool plugin because it just kind of makes sure that you hit on all the things you should do to make your article be as good as it can be for SEO purposes. So it'll actually tell you all the things. So for me, this post will be pillar content, and I want to fill out my focus keywords. So again, all you have to do is install the Rank Math plugin. I'll link to both of these plugins as well underneath this video. But what you want to do is you want to type in that main keyword you want to go after. So for me, it's how to lose 2 pounds a week. So I'll actually type that in here, how to lose 2 pounds, and you'll see that it's going to probably find it. So see, it found it. So there it is. And now you can see my SEO score jumped to a 30. The goal is to get it as high as you can. I've never been able to get a 100. My best, I think, is like 92, but that's pretty good. And again, this isn't like anything amazingly special, but I think it's important that it helps you hit everything that you need. The content is great. My writer went all out here and did a 1900 word post, which is very long, and that's great. And so, and you can see it was able to format it pretty good. You can also go up and preview on desktop, and then you can see how it looks, because then you can tweak it. Now there's still some more SEO things we're gonna have to do, but all right, so there's that. And it picked this image. I don't really like that one because it's too small, so we'll fix that. But you can see as far as it did it, as far as the formatting structure, it actually came in pretty good. What we're going to do though is we're going to go in and we're going to make this a little more SEO friendly by focusing on the H1, H2, H3 tags, and we're also going to make sure we upload a better image and give that image a good name and make a few edits to this blog post. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on that. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to jump back over and we're going to start to dig into the SEO side of the things that we have to fix. All right, so let's do that. All right, so first things first, we want to give this thing a title. You can also see that I have a paid version of Grammarly installed. I highly recommend that, although it does kind of get in the way, which is a pain. I wish you could make it move. But anyway, first thing is you can see we have this here. I don't like this. One of the things that this writer does is she puts everything in all caps, which I don't like. So I usually have to fix that. I need to tell her to stop, but I always forget. So, all right, so we want to go ahead and put our title in here. How to lose 2 pounds a week. All right. So that's our title, and you can see over here instantly we jumped up to a 71 score because I made sure that she used this phrasing a lot throughout the entire piece. And you can see over here on the right that the SEO has jumped up, and we've got a lot more green check marks, and what we want to do is get all green that we can get. Now you see here it says focus keyword not in the URL. So if we go over here, we can actually edit the snippet, which is what appears when you do a search, and you can kind of read under the URL or under the name of the page. There's like a little description of what will come. And I like to pull from kind of the opening paragraph, and then I tweak it some for it to fit. So let me just grab that. We're going to go over here. You can see it under the preview. We're going to hit edit snippet. And I don't like having my name in here, so I take out site name. This is all code, so that's the title. And let me move all of this. And then I get rid of the separator too. How to lose 2 pounds a week. And I also just found out this: if you can use parentheses or brackets, you tend to get more click action. So I'm going to go ahead and put some brackets in here. And I'm going to put like step by step guide. And you can see just that, you can already see that it's a lot more clickable, right? Like that sounds like a lot more valuable than a post that would say like 7 reasons why you should lose 2 pounds, right? You know, that's been done 1,000 times over. To also help with the search, we're going to update the permalink, which is what appears right here. This also helps with the keyword searching. So we're going to do how to lose 2 pounds a week. All right, so now we've got that set up too. And notice that the page name and the name of the article are bold. That is something that Google does to make it stand out when you do a search. So that's why you want to try to keep these as best you can. And now we have the description. And you'll see as well that it also is telling you how far to go and how many characters you should spend per title, permalink, and description. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this in here. And this is pretty long. So this is what it says right now. Losing weight takes determination, time, and effort, or blood, sweat, and tears, depending on your outlook on life. But let's be real, for many of us, it took years to accumulate all this weight, and we can't expect to lose it overnight. Okay, so I like the second part. I don't really love the first part as much. So what I would do here is, and I like to use the phrase again in the description. All right, and again, maybe I might overdo this stuff. I'm not an SEO genius type guy. I'm just kind of keeping it basic and simple. So I always like to open with like a question, and I'll say something like, are you wondering how you can, how to lose 2 pounds a week? So you'll see that I got the exact phrase in there, right? And now again, bolded, because that's the term that we're going after. Are you wondering how to lose 2 pounds a week? Maybe you want to lose more or less, but either way, this step-by-step guide can help you get started. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this other text, so I don't even really need that either. So we'll just get rid of that, and we'll see where we're at, kind of clean it up. So we're at 149 characters. The only thing I don't like is sometimes I like to get the words in there twice, but this is such a long phrase. I think it's okay. So you can see the big key was to get the main keyword phrase in the title, in the permalink, and in the description. All right, so that pretty much does that. And if we jump back over here, we'll see now that we're now at a 76. So getting there, right? What I like to do then is I like to go in and add, so you have to understand in the SEO world, there's H1, H2, H3 tags, and these tags are basically like headings, and they tell Google what's important. They say this is an important part of text. So the higher the number, or I should say lower the number, the more important it would be. So H1 would be the most important, and the title of the piece is an H1 tag. So this is an H1 tag, and so we're telling the search engines that this article is all about how to lose 2 pounds a week. Now, if you look at here, this is a paragraph. So this is not an H1 tag at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to change all of the headings to be H2 or H3 tags. All right, so what I like to do is, this is an H1, so I like to make this an H2. So I highlight that, go right here, and you can change it. See, paragraph, heading 1, heading 2, there it is. How to lose 2 pounds a week. Now it's going to appear twice, but that's okay. And again, this is where, this is more just a thing that I do. You don't have to, but I just think it helps, is change these so they're not all caps. I just don't personally like that. I'll make this one capital, and then I'll put in here the bracket again, because this will correlate to what they saw when they clicked on it. Because again, remember, you want the click to match up, and then I will go ahead and center this. All right, so that's how you do that. We'll keep scrolling. I'm okay with all of the images. I know this has already been checked, but I can always make a few tweaks as I go if anything jumps out at me. Text looks good. So here we go. This is a big key. You see how we have again used the keyword phrase and separated it into strategy 1. So keyword phrase, again, learn the formula, part 1. So what we'll do is same thing. We're going to heading it to 2, and we're going to, I think it's okay now. I'm going to keep them all capital just for the sake of time, so you don't have to watch me type everything again and again. So we'll separate that. Boom. And this is the kind of tedious work that you never see talked about in any of the SEO videos, right? So this is all good. Images are in. Strategy 2. Now we're going to move on to strategy 3. Highlight. Heading 2. Center. And you can't do it. So I was hoping you could click inside and hit Control A, but it doesn't allow that. So you have to do it like this. You have to kind of just click on it, and then heading 2. Center. So we're doing this for all of the major pieces, and if there's anything that's like a sub piece, I'm going to make that an H3 tag, which I saw one down below, so we'll get to that in a second. We'll bring this to an H2 center. Strategy number 7, H2 center. Yeah, she went all out. This is truly an all-out article. Strategy number 9. One thing too, that now that I'm seeing it more, I may go back and edit the headline some and maybe let them know what the strategy said, that there's 10 different strategies, Center that, H2. So here's one that you see, it says let the journey begin. I can go ahead and make this an H3, so it's a little bit smaller. One little tip that I've learned from SEO is never go from like an H2 to an H4, or from an H3 to an H5. Like, you want to continually make sure that you stick to going from like an H1 to an H2, H3, back to an H2. You just never want to jump more than one at a time. You can go up or you can go down, but never move more than one at a time. And that's just a little tip that I've been told. So one thing I do, she always puts my personal email in here, which I don't like, so I always have to go edit that out. Please know that I'm here for you. I understand the struggle and the struggle is real. If you have any questions or need more, I'd love to hear from you, so please contact me. So what I do is I have them link out to me. So I just take my email out of there. I just say contact me, and I turn that into a link. So I click on the link icon. Okay, so here I'm just going to go ahead and paste in the direct link to one of my contact pages, and you can see that it does open up to a separate page. And you can see now that our score is up to 79, pretty good. So we can try to see what the other problems are. So we went through, we made all these updates, and let's look and see what some of the problems are. Oh yeah, so here we go. How to lose 2 pounds a week. I'm gonna add in 10 easy to follow steps. All right, and now we jumped up to 80. So we're slowly getting there. Let's keep scrolling and look under. So I've done all these. All the basics now are good. Let's look at additional. All right, so it looks like some of the problems are that I need to add an image with my focus keyword as alt text. So what I do for that is I just go to Unsplash, which is a site that gives you free images, and I would say like I'll do a search for like woman on scale and see if there's anything pops up. It's never quite perfectly, but you know, we'll see if anything jumps out. So far, no. These are all terrible as far as what we're going after. So we'll keep searching. So we can do, let's look at scale. There we go. This is what we were after, right? So we have a scale there. I think that first one's probably the best one. So what we do, we go ahead and download that image. Just click on it, download it, open it up in a folder, which I'll have it over here. And then I go back to the post. And what I do now is I jump over to the settings section, and down here there's a few things here that we have to do. One, we put it into a category. So I'm going to put this in weight loss, and then I will put in some tags, and then we're going to add the image last. So we'll do some tags. So we'll do like lose weight, weight loss, we'll say how to lose 2 pounds a week. So you see, we're going for that exact phrase. Lose weight, weight loss, how to lose 2 pounds a week, lose 2 pounds a week, lose pounds. That's good enough. So those are my tags, just kind of, you know, fast. And now we have the featured image. So this is what appears. If we go back, that's what appears right here. So we want to change that up. So what we're going to do, we click on this, and I go to upload files, and then I can upload the image by I just dragged it over and I dropped it. And guess what we're going to name the image? Anyone want to guess? Yeah, how to lose 2 pounds a week. Because that is, again, another signal that's telling Google what to search for, right? So alt text, how to lose 2 pounds a week, copy that. We'll make that the title, we'll make that the description, and we'll set the featured image. And look at that, now we're up to 82. Okay, so we've done the category, we've done the tags, we've done the image. Let's go and see why we're struggling, why we're still only at 82. So under these other problems, we see the keyword density is 0.68. So that's a little bit low, but I don't really want to go in and add it more. You know, they want higher density. Should not be too high. So again, this is just how many times does the exact keyword phrase appear, and our score is 0.68. I think that's okay. You can see it's not in red, so that's good. Here's one that's good. We couldn't find any internal links in your content. So this is very important. They really like for you to link to yourself. So let's jump over to our blog, and we're just going to view the blog. Okay. And what I do here is I'm going to look for articles that I've written on my site that I think could be referenced within the piece. And there's 2 of them that I've seen, and one is the X3 bar review. That one's pretty good. And I think intermittent fasting is probably pretty good. So those are 2. And there's also my Donald Switch blog. So what I can do is I can copy, let's start with stoicism. I'm going to copy that link and go back to the blog. So here we go. Right in the very start, I think this would be a good spot because it says losing weight takes determination, time, and effort, or blood, sweat, and tears, depending on your outlook in life. So I know that it would help people if they read my post about being a stoic, because it will help them deal with the mental side. So I'll say something like that. If you happen to struggle with the mental side of weight loss, I highly recommend you check out my post on, and I want to get the exact phrase again, how to practice stoicism. All right, so I go ahead and just kind of highlight that and make it a link. Anytime I make a link that's an internal link, it becomes, it's one click. Now you can see we jumped up to an 87 because I've got that, but because I want to do one more, I'm going to do the X3 bar as well. So I'm going to copy that one. I think that'll be a good fit. So let me do a quick find, and I'm going to see if I can type in training. Yeah, so that's the only time for training. Weight, I know we use the word weight a lot. I want to maybe try lift. Lift. No. So I'm gonna look at train again, where she talked about trainers here. Yeah. So because I was on a weight loss show, so she linked to that. So I could kind of scroll down and let's see, learn the formula, understand food. We're scrolling through here. Get real. Make better choices. Here we go. Exercise, body, and mind. That's great. So what I can do here. So, because we're talking about the X3 is what I use to exercise with. So I would say here that we will say, I recommend you check out my post where I review the X3, which is what I personally use. All right, so I'm gonna say check out my post where I review the X3 bar. All right, so highlight that, make it at a link. Boom, boom. So now you can see the whole goal is you want to interlink content. So one blog post links to the other one, which links to the other one. So people that come here and read may end up staying on the page longer. They'll read 3 or 4 articles as opposed to just one. All right, so that's all good. And content readability, it's saying that one of my paragraphs is long. Consider using shorter ones. So I always scroll through and look for like big blocks of text. If I scroll through, are there any big blocks of text that I can break up some? So far, nothing's. This one's a little bit long, and one thing about this plugin, I wish it would tell you. I wish it would tell you what text it is, but I'll scroll and just kind of continue to clean things up. Let's see, anything. None of these seem too long to me. This one is a little bit longer, so I'll make this a separate line. This one's pretty long too. So again, just go through and kind of break it up. This is also good on the eyes because people, people don't want to read huge blocks of text. So I kind of just look for a spot where I can break the text up. And you can see now we jumped up to a 90. Look at that. Because we now got that in there, we're using short paragraphs. This last step is the most tedious step. So I'm gonna show you it. You can see where it says use table of contents to break down your text. All right, so basically this is where the rubber meets the road. If you want to really rank well and do extremely well, then you can set up this table of content. So if I click here and I'm gonna type in say this, prefer to jump ahead to a section, you can use the table of contents. So we're going to go ahead and create this table of contents. So you can create the table of contents below. Let's make that so this was an H2, we'll make this an H3. So it kind of stands out some. And then hit enter. And what we're going to do here is we're going to pull and create each section with the title. So let's just do that real quick. So this is learn the formula. So we'll do 1, learn the formula. And then it should do it for me. So number 2 is understand food. So we just type that in, understand food. Number 3 is get real. I'm showing you exactly how to do this. Hopefully you enjoy that. If not, as I did try to say up front, this is not the most fun. Exercise, body and mind, and make healthier food choices. So I can remember both of those. So number 4 is make healthier food choices. And number 5 was exercise, body, and mind. I believe that was it. We may need to tweak it. We'll see. Jump down to number 6. Number 6 is determine your motivation. Write that down. Determine your motivation. Number 7 is get to the root of the issue. And then we have number 8. Number 8 is find your people. And number 9 is distract and redirect. So let's see if we can remember that. Find your people, distract and redirect. And finally, number 10, went way too far there. Number 10 is don't give up, don't ever give up. I was going to say don't give up. So this lets people kind of quickly jump around from section to section. But here is what we have to do in order to make this work, is we have to now link this page, right? Each of these pages has to link to that section. So how do we do that? Well, what I do is these are going to be what are called anchor text, and they're going to jump to sections within a blog. So if you highlight this and click on the link, you can create that. Then what you do is you put the pound sign, and then I like to try to put the first word of that phrase just so it's easy to remember. So we'll do hashtag learn and hit enter. If you highlight a word too, you can also just hit Control K and it pulls it up for you. So this is hashtag understand. Notice as well that I'm doing this all small. I'm doing it lowercase. So here we'll do hashtag don't want to do that. Control K, hashtag get real. So this is sort of step 1, right? And then I did get real, right, as the full phrase. Yeah, so that one I did because it's so short. I did it get real, but this one we'll just do hashtag make. And I'll explain to you why I do it this way in one second, but for now, just sort of roll with me. This one is hashtag exercise, so we'll do that. And this one's going to be hashtag determine. So we'll Control K, hashtag determine, all lowercase. We're almost done. That's the good news, is we're getting to the end here. So see here how I had get real and get to the root. That's why I did get real. So here we're going to do get root, just to kind of stick to the same structure. Control K, hashtag get root. And then here we go, hashtag find. We'll do that one. This one will be hashtag distract. I did it again. How do I do that? Control K, hashtag distract. And then finally, the don't give up. That one's pretty cool, so I'll just do the whole phrase. Hashtag don't, and remember, don't put in apostrophe, that will break things. Don't give up. Okay, so what do we do now is we have to kind of recall these. So we have learn, understand, get real, make, exercise, determine, get root, find, distract, and don't give up. So now we have to move to these sections and we have to make them link up. So how do we do that? We scroll down to section 1. So here we go. We click anywhere in here and we go over to the settings. All right, so the next step is to scroll down to the section that you want to link to, right? So we've got how to lose 2 pounds a week, strategy number 1, learn the formula. Okay, so what I did is I had to convert this to a block, and I'll show you how to do that in the next one. But what we do now is we've got how to lose 2 pounds a week, and we want to link. So when people click this, we want it to jump here. So if we click in there and sort of do a highlight, what we're going to do now is we're going to go over. So we were here. We're going to go over to the settings and go to advanced, and you'll see there's now a thing called HTML anchor. So we want to just put the same word that we put in there, but the difference is we don't want to include the hashtag. So this one was learn. So see, this is why I do it this way, because now I can recall that was called learn. So just hit learn, and that's it, done. Now if you go down, we'll do these real quick. You see, if I go here to part 2, you'll see that that same advanced area doesn't exist. So in order to get it to exist, you have to convert this to blocks. So if I click on convert to blocks, it doesn't change, it doesn't really change anything, it just adds the ability. So this is now understand. So if I go to advanced, under HTML anchor, I just type the word understand, and we're good to go. We'll just do these real quick, and then we're pretty much at the end. One thing you'll see that I really hate, and I don't know if it's me, if I'm doing something wrong, but the system of the Rank Math, it doesn't notice the table of contents. Like I've tried and tried, but it doesn't seem to me. If I hit it on its own line, it just does not. So I can't get this above a 91 score, but hey, that's a pretty good score. And we know that technically, because we have this, it's actually better than that. So we've got all of the basics done. We got our keywords set. We have our image. We have pretty much everything is good, right? So we've done it all this. Now what we do is we just have to publish it. So go ahead and click publish. Are you sure? Yes, I am. Sometimes I'll publish it, and then if it doesn't come out right, I'll go fix it. Let's go ahead and view the post. I'm going to copy this link too, and I'll show you one last thing that we can do. So hit view post, and there it is. So we have how to lose 2 pounds a week, 10 easy to follow steps. There's our person on the scale. How to lose 2 pounds a week, step-by-step guide. Prefer to jump ahead, you can use the table of contents. So let's test these out. You can see it jumps us up. That's great. I always like to click on each one just to make sure that they all work. This is where I have the most troubles, because one little typo and you're basically kind of screwed. So far so good. And we'll jump down to number 6. Yep, that's good. And what's cool about this too is that many times, this is kind of a cool little hack, Google can use this to help you answer questions and to use kind of like, they're called snippets, and sometimes they'll pull from these and they'll put your text in there and give you more space on the search results page. And check out number 10. Make sure we're good. Yep. And then number 11. That should be it. Good. Yep. So there it goes. That's all there. We have our outbound links to things that we referenced. Have it, there. We have all the tags. So like everything is good. It's a great post. Now, if you recall, I copied the link. The reason for that is because I want to do one last thing, which is I want to go to the blog, and I now want to look for some previous blog posts that I wrote that I could link to. So I think under intermittent fasting would be a great one. So if I pull up this article, you can see that we can probably link to something going out. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this post, and I want to insert. And again, because we're trying to be tight on the keyword, we're gonna use that keyword that we're going after. So you've heard all the hype around intermittent fasting diet, also known as IF, but what is it? Is it a new trend? Blah, blah, blah. Could it be a lifestyle change? Let's see. Here's a definition that's defining it, which is great. Let's see. So here, I'll add it here. So you can see fasting as a form of nutrition is far from typical to most of us. If you want to try a more traditional approach, check out my post on how to lose 2 pounds a week. So I'm just going to highlight that and add that link. There it goes. Boom. So this is actually one of the best things that you can do, is sort of link up content. So that one was good. So we'll save that one, and then we'll go back to the main blog again, and we'll maybe look for one more spot that it could work. So maybe we could do something on my duodenal switch post. So this is one when I got a surgery that helped me with my weight loss. So you can see again, here's the table of contents, but I want to look for a spot that I could add. Here, I'll put it right here. This seems like a pretty good spot for it. So I'll edit the post. So, and we're going to insert this link here. I'm pretty crazy. Weight loss story. So if you are looking for a more traditional weight loss plan, check out how to lose 2 pounds a week. All right, so same thing, and I'm going to interlink that content. So highlight and link and go. Boom. And update. All right, so that's it. We've got our post. It's all done. Let's jump back to that page. So now, if you think about it, it's cool because we have this, and this links out to my Stoic article, and I believe it links out to one more somewhere. Yeah, it links out to the X3, and then my duodenal switch article posts to here, and one of my other ones that we just did post to here as well. So it's kind of like a circle, right? We're interlinking everything, and from what I've been told, Google absolutely loves that. They love for you to interlink things. So this is kind of it. That's what I do. The final step, which I guess I'll go ahead and show you. You're still here, aren't you? So let's go ahead. The final step that I do is I go to Hootsuite, and I go to Twitter, and I just go ahead and share these out to the audiences. So let me go ahead and write a tweet and just say, hey, looking for some strategies to lose 2 pounds a week. Just posted this article. Maybe it can help you get through the holidays without packing on pounds. And then I link out to it, and I copy this, and I go over to Hootsuite, which I have a free account with them, so I can post to like 3 things. I won't put it on Twitter. I'll put it on my Facebook page and LinkedIn. So that's my LinkedIn account. That's Twitter, so that's not good. I want my Facebook page. So there we go. So we have a LinkedIn and we have a Facebook. Again, these are all backlinks. I can paste that in there. Hey, looking for some strategies to lose 2 pounds a week. Just posted this article. Blah blah blah. Maybe find it, get the holidays done. And because I have more space now, I can add a little bit more. inside the article, you'll find 10 ways to lose up to 2 pounds a week. Can you lose more? Probably, but is it wise? Studies say no. It's best to lose weight slowly, and then you'll keep it off longer. All right, so that's pretty much it, and I'll do a call to action. Read the article here now. Boom. All right, so that's it, and I hit post now, and that's it. So we took the blog post, we were able to import it, we got it set up for SEO, we used Rank Math, we did some interlinking, and then we went ahead and posted it on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and all that got done. And I don't know if you hear it, but now there's some kind of an ambulance driving by, so it's always fun here, always fun at the office. All right, well, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. It's very tedious and long, but if you follow this process, I don't want to show my actual keywords, but I've got a few ranking #1 with this strategy after about 3 months, and I think it'll continue to climb up. So, all right, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, I produce more content like this all the time, so please like, share, subscribe, whatever you would like to do, and I will see you in the next training that I provide.